Hello everybody, and welcome back to another gathering video. Today we are stepping away from the lethal zones to explore how much a Tier 8 gatherer can actually earn in yellow zones. While you watch the footage of my gathering session, I will be explaining how to gather efficiently in these zones. And at the end of the video, I will show you how much you can earn. I will be talking about Tier 8 gathering, but if you're not a Tier 8 gatherer, simply adjust your tools and gear to match your level. While you may not profit as much as a Tier 8 gatherer, the same principles still apply to you. I will be gathering ore in the mountain region, but the tips I will share are valid for all types of gathering. I gather ore because I'm based in Thetford, and the mountain region is just 2 maps away. This allows me to faction flag and earn points along the way, which I can use to buy hearts or chests to boost my profit. Another advantage is Thetford has ore refining bonus, which means prices are typically higher here. I can sell directly without worrying about transportation. This approach was especially efficient when I don't have a mammoth and gather a lot in yellow zones, as there's no need to transport my loot to other cities. You can easily apply this method to other cities with their refining bonuses. For this video, I won't be refining, but feel free to check the prices and decide if refining works with current prices. When gathering in a yellow zone, it is important to focus on one type of resource to maximize your yield. Now let's talk about what you should bring along. Here's what I would suggest. Tier 8 gathering gear gives you a 70% yield bonus for the specific resource type on top of your base yield. With pies and Avalonian tools, your goal is to exceed 100% yield for Tier 5 gathering. When your yield is above 100%, you will receive an extra piece every time and occasionally gather 2 pieces, depending on your yield. Avalonian tools provide an additional 20% yield, so taking them with you is essential for efficient gathering. Also, pork pies offers 15% yield bonus and increases your max load by 30%. This is a big help, as it allows you to gather for longer periods before needing to return to the city. Deciding which journals to take with you can be tricky to manage. I usually take Tier 3 and Tier 5 journals with me. Bringing 2 different tiers can be complicated, and you might not fully fill the higher tier. To avoid overwhelming you with too many details, I won't explain the process here, but if you're interested, I'll provide a detailed explanation in the pinned comment. If you want to keep it simple, just take the tier that you gather the most. I take Tier 4 gathering potions with me in case there's competition and I need to gather faster. I usually don't use them. I prefer to have them just in case. As for a weapon, most of them work, but I prefer the Nature Staff because its W ability can interrupt the stun skill of Tier 5 resource mobs, which is very helpful. For mounts, high carry capacity mounts work best depending on your needs. You don't have to bring passive capacity mounts, but if you are faction flagged, it's nice to have a mount with passive, as people may try to knock you down. I usually take the Elite Winter Bear with me, but oxes or dire boars work too. To fully take advantage of your gathering yield, it's essential to focus on one type of resource. For example, I primarily gather ore and only take other resources if they are enchanted. You can also gather Tier 3 and Tier 4 ore if they are nearby, but their prices usually aren't high enough to make them worth it. So, it's generally more efficient to focus on Tier 5. I want to make a note here. Since Tier 2 and Tier 3 hide as well as stone on the EU server have high prices, this doesn't apply to them. Also, since I'm on the Europe server, stone prices aren't terrible either, so I will consider gathering Tier 5.1 and Tier 5.2 stones as well. But before heading out on your gathering runs, it's crucial to check the market prices. This will help you decide which resources are worth gathering and will maximize your profits for that specific day or run. When choosing the best maps for gathering, it's important to consider the type of resource you're gathering. Each region in Albion has its primary, secondary, and tertiary resources, so you should select the map based on the resources you need. Choosing a map with the primary resource usually makes the most sense, as you can also find resource mobs for that primary resource, allowing you to gather more efficiently. Regardless of which resources you're targeting, always make sure to gather at least one map away from the royal cities. These areas tend to be crowded with players, which can reduce your chances of gathering efficiently without competition. Not all runs will be the same, as factors like competition, drop rates, and the enchanted resources you come across can significantly impact your profits. However, after gathering in the same maps for a while, you will start to get a feel for where resources are likely to spawn. Even though spawn locations change daily, you will have a general idea of where to look. If you revisit the same maps within the same day, you will find the resource mob spots. That's all I have for now. I will see you at the end of the run. I collected around 16.5k faction points, and I will buy hearts with them to add to the profit. As you can see, even without a tome drop and hearts, I gathered resources worth 1.6 million. If we add the tome and heart, the total profit for 1 hour is 2 million. My expenses were 10,000 for pies, 40,000 for the journey back, and 70,000 for empty journals. I always use buy orders them, by the way, as purchasing them directly may expensive. The total comes to 120,000. And before closing, I just want to say something. Here are my stats for ore gathering. As you can see, they are high. However, if yours are lower, or if you're not a Tier 8 gatherer, can't afford Avalonian tools, or you are gathering in a map with high competition and getting less profit than me, please consider the conditions before blaming me, okay? Because I know some of you will. I have had both the worst and the best runs, with a bunch of drops or enchanted resources. This is a medium run. I'm recording this video in the middle of the day, not in the morning or at night. As you saw, the competition isn't too high, though there was some. You'll get both the best and the worst sessions. That's what this game is all about. That being said, thank you for watching.